Today we will be learning how to tie a Clouser fly. This is a fly used to catch, honestly, 30 to 60% of the world's waters you can fish with this fly. We're going to be turning this hook into a Clouser. You're going to need a few things first. We're going to need some yarn, which you can get at your local fishing shop. You need some glue. You're going to need a couple hooks. We're using a size 4, quantity 12, some saltwater series hooks. You're going to need some bucktail. Yes, like a deer. Various bucktail, and this is what we call crystal flash. You're going to need some of that. We have our vise here to hold our hooks, and let's begin. The first thing that you're going to want to do here is start wrapping around just like this. Doing as many ties as you can. We're just trying to build up that base layer. Yeah. And now, in a little 1 second, I do about 20 ties, 20 wraps here. Next up, we're ready for the eyes. Now, the eyes are the most important part because you don't want to put them too far forward, otherwise the fly won't float, and you don't put them too far backward, otherwise it'll go upside down. So it's important that when you put this on here, you just start doing it in like a crisscross lashing sort of motion. Up and around, down and around. And then you also want to do a couple wraps behind the eyes as well as in front of the eyes to keep them from wiggling like so. And then we're just going to continue. I do another 20 tries or so to keep going up and around here. I always like to put on a little bit of a glue here to keep them from moving around on the hook there. And so our next step is to get our pink bucktail. What we're going to do is our hook is about this long, so we're going to measure out as much bucktail to cover this right here and then a little there. So we're going to use our scissors and we are going to cut a little bit of bucktail. Alrighty. And now we're going to overlay the bucktail like so, and then get our same string and do several wraps around the front of the fly until it is nice and tight. Next, we're going to trim that down and we're going to do wraps behind the eyes as well, much like you did before to stabilize the eyes. Now don't worry about all this excess stuff here. We'll take care of that in a minute. But as you can see, it's looking a little more like a fish would like it. Next step is we're going to get some of this this olive bucktail here and do a similar thing, except we're going to release the vise and turn it upside down to make it easier to tie. Now, same thing, we will figure out an appropriate amount of olive bucktail to cut. I'm going to do it like so. And same thing, we will rather than on top of the hook, we're going to go under the hook. We're going to do several twists with this white string around the front of the eyes to tie down the olive bucktail. And then once that's there, we will be going back behind the eyes to do several wraps around there as well. Alrighty. And next up, we will be using the green crystal flash with a K. This is adds some sparkle to it and gives it a little more pizzazz, so the fish will be more attracted to it. We all know fish love shiny things, so same thing as you've done before. We're gonna measure some of that out. You don't need too much of this compared to the bucktail that we've been using, so just keep that in mind. A little goes a long way with this stuff. And then we will just do the same thing that we've been doing. Go several wraps in the front of the eyes, several wraps, and like so. Alrighty, so our next step is to cut all of this excess off. Make it look a little prettier. Okay, so now that we've done that, our next step is to do the final, second to last step, and it's called the whip finish, arguably the most tricky part. So this is called a whip finish. So you're taking the hook end and you're going to thread the yarn on this end, and then you're going to bring it up. You're going to thread it like this, and then you will put it behind there, and then you will bring it up like so to where it is parallel, and then you're going to go several twists around, bring the triangle end down, and then you're going to tighten it like that. And then you will apply some glue here to keep all of that there. And also, this is called a poker tool. We're going to stick this in the eye hole of the hook so that way glue doesn't get glazed over the hook, and we'll be letting this stuff dry. And that is how you tie a Clouser minnow.